about all the problems we have with the stock market, because when you look at the actual companies, especially the ones that really benefit from an improving economy, they're doing pretty darn well. Take Snap-on Tools, SNA, top maker of premium hand and power tools, which they mainly sell to auto repair shops through 3,500 vans here in the United States, although they also sell to aerospace, agriculture, construction, mining, power generation clients, have a bountiful European business too, some Asian. Snap-on is a non-stop innovator, constantly creating new tools and diagnostic systems that make work easier for professionals doing critical tasks. Now, the company just reported this morning, and they earned $1.62 per share. That is a bountiful 8-cent beat on higher than expected revenues that rose 6.2% year over year. In particular, Snap-on's commercial and industrial sales rose an astounding 9.1%, driven in part by a fabulous surge in the European segment. Stock has given us a 23% return since we last spoke to the CEO in the past July. I bet it's got a lot more room to run, even after today's $3.38 rally. So let's take a closer look with Nick Pinchuck. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of Snap-on. Learn more about the quarter and his company's prospects. Nick, welcome back to Mad Money.
Good to see you, Jim.
Great to see you, sir.
Right.
Now, there were only 28 stocks in the S&P that hit an all-time high today.
Right.
Yours was one of them. I'd like to think it's because you innovate even with such things as wrenches.
Correct. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Snap-on is the type of company that is actually a technology company that innovates. It innovates based on a practical understanding of the workplace and associated with its technology. Take this, for example. We can talk about a wrench here. This is a tech wrench. We call it a tech wrench. It has to do with measuring torque inside an engine or inside an aircraft frame. It is the state of the art in terms of measuring torque and getting just the right tightening necessary for the critical tasks that take place in those places.
So in other words, you have this might have been originally for automotive, and it also it can transcend and also go into aerospace.
Sure. One of the things about Snap-on is it's always been an automotive repair company. But what we realized is that Snap-on means a lot to any professional as long as they're performing critical tasks. Right. That is, the need for repeatability and reliability is important, that they have to perform with certainty. And that's aerospace and oil and gas and aviation. And we apply technology to that. For example, not shown here is one of these things where we have a smart toolbox. One of the big things on an aerospace line is don't lose a tool in the engine. Sounds like crazy stuff, right?
No,
right? A screwdriver.
No, don't leave a forceps in a surgery.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So we make a box that uses imaging technology that tells you, boy, Jim Cramer took out screwdriver A from door A, and he's working in bay 6 on engine 2. And before he buttoned up the nacelle, you check the box to see if he returned it.
That is great.
Right, and that's driven a lot of this growth. C&I, the commercial industrial business, was up 10% in revenue, 200 basis points in OI, and it's driven by that extension of critical industries because people value Snap-on, and we have technology and insight to bring them.
Well, Nick, a lot of people also felt that you shouldn't be moving into Europe, or maybe you should try to minimize Europe because Europe was bad. Obviously, they were wrong.
Right, right. I mean, we've established a business in Europe, and I mean, I've got welts on my back for Europe. You know, I told you, I think last time I was here, France is giving me a headache. I didn't want to hear the word
you
France.
Said it.
Well, France is up now. France is up now. Germany is up now. Spain is up now. And the thing about this is, we spent a lot of time not taking down productive capacity because we had
everyone told you to do it.
We had faith that it was coming back. We knew our customers were still there. Now we kept improving our efficiency and productivity. So even before the revenue started coming back, our profitability was getting better. Now the revenue's coming back, so we're getting a double dip, both profitability, efficiency, and leverage on top of that.
What did you learn in terms of what you're going to do in Asia?
Oh, in Asia. Well, the thing about Asia, if you think about China, the United States, they both buy a lot of big cars.
Yes.
A lot of new cars, a lot of
people in China.
A lot of new cars, a lot of people in China. But the U.S. market, a lot of cars on the road already, and they're old.
Yes, 11.
In China, 11 and a half years old and 300 million on the road. Well, in China, despite the fact they're selling a lot of new cars, there are not many on the road, and they're all new. So the repair wave is just starting.
Oh,
and I lived in Asia for 11 years myself, and one of the things I learned is that you have to have the physical capabilities to take advantage of this. So what we've been doing is building those physicals. When I arrived in China about 9 years ago, Shanghai, the only people who worked for Snap-on in that city of 50 million people came with me on the plane. Now we have 5.
How many years ago?
That was about 8 years ago, 9 years ago. And came with me on the plane. Now we have 5 factories, 1,500 people, 31 offices, a design center, 700 distributors. And so we're building those physicals because we know the wave is coming.
Now let's go back to the oil and gas, because
Sure.
we've been visiting these sites. We've been on an oil rig 13 miles off the coast. We've been in Utica Shale. We've been in Wilson. We've been in North Dakota.
Right.
You guys there now?
Yes, we're starting to grow this. You see, part of the Snap-on base is the technology, but also an understanding of the business. So we understand automotive repair very well. We have guys at Snap-on that can tell you why a mechanic will take his rag out of his pocket with his right hand instead of his left.
Huh?
So they really understand.
Is it an algorithm or something?
No, they understand the job. Very well. They understand the work.
Okay.
So we're developing the work in oil and gas. So when we visit oil and gas sites, we see a lot of people welding tools together to do a job which nobody makes a tool for. We're making those tools today, and so we're starting to build business there too.
Okay, look, I happen to love the people at Stanley Black & Decker. They're terrific. You know, they're not doing that.
I love them too. It's a different business.
Right?
It's a different business.
Right? They're
different
a retail business. What are they? They have professional business.
Different business. Our business is based in criticality. And it's criticality, in other words, the need for reliability and repeatability so that nothing can fail, like in aerospace or mining. And we're based in technology. You take this thing here.
Okay.
For example, this is a diagnostic unit. And this you plug it into a car, and it'll give you what the car is saying in terms of the fault codes. It'll show you the car's heartbeat. It'll allow you to make the car run through tricks, sit up and do dog tricks. And this particular one will allow you to go out to the internet and get special database. We have a database which we use our field information, and we can tell you exactly if a Honda is at 56,000 miles and it has this symptoms, here's probably what's wrong with it. And you'll get this through this device. It's called a Veris Pro. High technology in an area which is increasingly dependent on high technology, but people don't think of it that way.
Well, it's interesting, Nick, because you are the only industrial and technology stock that hit an all-time high today in the S&P. Now people know why. That's Nick Pinchuck. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of Snap-on S&A. I'm sure now you understand why I think this is such a great company. Stay with it. Stay with Cramer.